Good morning, America. Always wanted to say that. I want to say good morning to all my friends, my family, my new friends that I've met over the couple of weeks through Tony, through Canaway. I want to thank you for your friendship, your support. As most of you know that interact with me on a daily basis, for the last couple of weeks I've been invited to speak at a peace rally in Upper Marion. Um, Today it's at 6 o'clock at 175 Valley, I think Valley Forge or Valley Park Road in Upper Marion. It's right behind the police department. It's going to be hot today. I've written my speech 3, 4 times, and this happens normally. I was asked to talk about my book, Indispensable Games of X's and O's. Everything that I've learned about life, I learned playing high school football. But for the last couple of days, since last week, since July 17th, I've been very emotional. 2 times in my life that my eyes have sweat or I shed tears over a public figure. The first has been the great Walter Payton. In my pursuit to be more than a football player, he was one of the people that I wanted to meet and never got a chance. He was a great humanitarian. He was kind. He was a good father. He was a good husband. He was a good uncle. He was a good friend. And he did God's work. He served. Congressman John Lewis passed away. He gave in or succumbed to pancreatic cancer. But he fought for life, fought for equal rights and justice for all, up until he drew his last breath. I am a member of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. My family of blue and white, we mourn his loss. But John Lewis lives on within all of us. Although I'm going to talk about my book and all the many wonderful things that have been added to my life, I can't forget all the things that have been taken away from my life that I've struggled and I've fought against. I had a conversation with someone that says I am the original affirmative action. That it didn't ask for anyone to give me anything. I went out and took what was rightfully mine. And for those of you that are black and brown, you've got to understand that this world is global. That opportunity doesn't end at your doorstep. It begins when how you perceive and view the world, and how you perceive and view your position in this world. Because I want to build alliances, I've had trouble in writing my speech, talking about black, brown, talking about white, or any indifferences, because we're all in this world together. It doesn't really make a difference what skin color you are. But there are a lot of things that have got to change. I've gotten plenty of advice from people that have a different political position than I do, trying to tell me all the good that this one individual has done. And my response has been repeatedly, I know this individual on a personal basis. I've done business with him, and he is not a good person. We hold everyone to a standard that really no one can live by. I can really care less what you do in your bedroom or who you do it with, as long as you're happy. I do care when you put yourself in a position to unite people, that your daily agenda is only to divide for profit. I do care about that. I also care about the fact that when you see people struggling, you're willing to stand on their neck versus give them a hand. Now, with every race, there are those that are only going to amount to whoever they are when they get up in the morning. And then there are those that get up in the morning and try to amount to much more than whatever they came into the world with. John Lewis said, don't get lost in the despair. Be hopeful. Be optimistic. Our struggles are not just for one day, a week, a month, a year. Our struggles are for us for a lifetime. Never be afraid to make noise or to get in some good trouble, necessary trouble. Very profound words from a man that stood not only by his word, he stood on the right of justice. My black and brown brothers and sisters, stop allowing people to call you colored. Tell them to call you Cyrus, Jamal, Raymond, Kevin. Stop being one of those black friends. Stop living up to the stereotype. If you bring a child into the world, it's your responsibility. If you're the mother that's choosing a partner and you're bringing that child into that world, let that child be represented by someone strong, someone with purpose, someone with a passion, someone with a cause. We, as black people, need to stop becoming consumers and become producers. It's amazing. $1,200 was given to the world. I didn't get it. To help pay their bills, buy food, put food on the table, and Amazon stock went up. They had to hire new employees. It's amazing the education you get when you step out of your comfort zone. I once heard this growing up, and I heard Kanye West say that he wants to give $1 million to every single mother. And I say, why? You can give $1 million to every single person on this planet. And within a year, those dollars will return back to its original source. People, we don't think. Tony is a very good friend of mine, someone I respect, someone I'm going to work with. Got me involved into a company called Canaway that I never thought I would get involved with. But on the first meeting, I invited several of my friends in. We're the only black people on that Zoom meeting. And at the end of the meeting, I had a conversation with each of them. And there were more that I had invited and didn't find the time to even sit in and listen. We all know that starting a business is real tough. But we're all promoters of those people that were tough enough to start a business. That's the reason why we're great consumers. But one thing I learned and I understand about white people, and we can condemn them all we want, is that when wealthy white people deliver a message and present opportunities, I sat in a room with people that did not need the money, that already were well established, living the dream, all sat there 100% committed to bringing in more revenue into their household. When the conversations I had from every black and brown person, they found fault, not only in the presenter, but the concept of the business. If you remain a consumer, you're going to remain stuck in a mindset where opportunity is limited, where hope is only part of a conversation, and you will always be pointing the finger as to why you're not getting yours. Life rewards action, and I can say that every single day. I'm going to get mine. My grandfather told me many, many years ago, in order for me to be just as good as my white counterparts, I had to be 3 times as good to be equal. Being the knucklehead that I was, I decided in my mind, I'm going to be 10 times better than any man, no matter what color you are. So there'll be no question when people stand aside and witness my greatness. Everything I ever learned about life, I learned playing high school football. Started in 1973 and 74 when I was a member of a great football team, a great institution, Dayton Roosevelt, the Mighty Teddies. My story started out as not being honest with the people that was around me, but most of all, I wasn't honest with myself. Never told anyone until I wrote this book that the fact that my mother and father split up when I was in the 3rd grade, I came home, discovered my mother had moved to Beverly Hills 90121. My father had me, my brothers and sisters on 559 Cedarhurst. Shortly after, I don't remember the timeline, we were relocated, process, to 17 Shoe, my father's childhood home, my grandparents, which Ann and Joseph Phillips was my first introduction to what a family really looked like. A couple of weeks ago, I gave a radio interview, and I was introduced as someone that came from great poverty and overcome a lot of things. And I was thinking to myself, I said, you know something, when I was growing up, I didn't even know I was poor. I didn't realize I was poor until I went to college and had a rich roommate. But my response to that introduction was the fact that I sat on a panel with people that have overcome horrific events in their life. And here I am, a young man with my 3rd book, college educated, top of the game in my profession at one of the top institutes or health facilities in the country, and I'm sharing the platform with people that were great. I've been told since I was in the 3rd grade that I had greatness within me, and by my uncles, my coaches, my friends, any male influence told me they had to go out and get the world ready for me. I did not know. When I was young, John Lewis' words were, go out and get in good trouble. Decisions I was making was not directing me towards good trouble, but made me a part of the statistic of what everyone thinks the stereotype in the black community. When I look back at it, it's not a stereotype, it's just being a kid, acting up, taking some chances, trying to find out who you are, and what you really want to be in life. But when I was in 8th grade, I got chased home by a group of individuals I had fought earlier, defending a friend that had been robbed by them. They bore the name of Chains of Rat Brown. Self-appointed. They chased me home and a friend, shooting at us when earlier on we had defended our right just with these. And back in the day, you could suffer a beat down from a friend and go out and have dinner with him later on. It's a lot like the UFC. But these young brothers had guns and knives. Instead of living life, their objective was to take as many lives as possible without any sense of purpose, not understanding that the gun that they're pointing at could be the next big movie star, the next John Lewis, the next Martin Luther King, the next Gladys Knight, the next Jesse Jackson, the next Mr. Abernathy, the next Barack Obama. As I scaled the fence of Westwood Elementary swimming pool and hid in the girls' locker room and laid in what I was hoping was water. I listened to the snap, crackle, pop of whatever's being fired at me hit the walls as I laid as low as possible. Matter of fact, I was so low I was trying to get under the concrete to get to the earth. But understanding I had one way out, and if they scaled the fence where I scaled in, the other side of the fence was either my death or is my freedom. As I scaled that back wall of the swimming pool to get to the other side, I discovered two things. I was faster than the average human being, which was Paul Moore, my friend. And I asked God that if he got me home without any bullet holes, that I was going to change my life. Second thing I learned is I wanted to live more than I wanted to die. So part of my speech would be a dedication to Congressman John Lewis, my brother, my fraternity brother, me representing not only mankind, but my brothers and sisters of like-minded thinking and like-minded actions that are looking for a peaceful resolution that will send a statement out to whatever politician that becomes the next president of the United States. They need to understand that you can't run on a platform to sell us your goods and then spend the next 4 years negotiating your position. You have to be strong. I keep hearing young black men and women talk about how strong the Republican Party is. And I listened to Charles Barkley say that blacks have been voting Democrats for over 50 years and none of us have ever became rich. Well, I'm here to tell you, it doesn't make a difference of who you vote for, be it Republican, be it Democrats. You need to understand the Republicans get what they want because they bully the living shit out of you. The Democrats are trying to make everyone happy. In my household, we call it passive aggressive. That's got to change. We've got to be aggressive. Life rewards action. And when I say life rewards action, if you do not go out and get yours and get out of your way, you will live the rest of your life with people denying you of your civil rights, denying you of opportunity, keeping you in an oppressed state of mind, and sitting on the sideline, just running your mouth, talking about things that you won't do. Anything and everything that gets done starts with you. I watched a guy on America that Got Talent that had spent 37 years being incarcerated for a crime he did not commit. I watched the movie Justice with friends and have to realize that there are individuals that were wrongfully locked up, executed, when they could all have been exonerated strictly because of DNA testing. We did not use it. Why? Because there's not enough people in a position that cares. We become disposable and we allow ourselves to be carried out weekly with professional trash removers. And we as individuals have become those people. We carry our own self out to the trash. Without a strong economic presence, you have no voice. Without leadership, we stand in no position. And as long as we become passive, we will continue to watch YouTube videos or cell phone footage of our civil rights being denied and lives being taken. My goal is to educate not only young people, My goal is to present an opportunity for people to understand my story is your story. My position is for fathers to take responsibilities of their kids, no matter what your relationship is with the mother. And for you young mothers, both black, white, Asian, or whatever the case may be, quit bringing children into this world when you not have created a world for that kid to have a better platform than the platform you're standing on today. I guess I'm doing this speech because only have 15 minutes to impress a group of people. But I'm putting this out on Facebook for the simple fact we all need to understand, because it's getting a little heavy. And I say heavy is my grandfather's word for when he has tried to help you and he's getting tired of helping you, because he always said he doesn't mind giving you a hand, but he's not going to haul you around for the rest of your life. So when he gets tired, his way of saying he's giving up on you, he's moving on, says you get heavy. And a lot of my people that are going out there making noise are getting heavy. A lot of my white friends that are trying to tell me the good this individual has been doing, you're getting heavy. A lot of my black and brown brothers and sisters that sit on the sidelines screaming and making noise and making YouTube videos and talking about discrediting one black person to another person, recanting the statistics that's been fed to you about black on black crime in impoverished neighborhoods, and deciphering or breaking down conversations with people that are trying to get the attention of the masses that's dividing us, you're getting heavy also. But no matter how much we march, no matter how much we protest, and I don't agree with the looting, and no matter how much we destroy our cities and property and whatever, it's not going to change until we reunite all people. It is so important that the mission we are on right now, that we be heard, we be seen. They need to feel our force. We need to be well organized, protected, but we need to do it in a peaceful manner. When a lion roars, everyone in the jungle listens. And they stand back to witness, to see what he's going to do next. My brothers, my sisters, brothers and sisters to be a lion. Be kings and queens. Make some good noise. I appreciate your time, appreciate your support. But the only way things are going to change is you change what's within your heart. You change the conversation. You take your finger from this position and reposition it to this position, and ask yourself, what have you done to take control of your life, to make a difference? You have to be affirmative action. Brother John Lewis, I'm dedicating my speech to you today. And I thank all of you for taking the time out to listen to this. And I hope I kill it. I hope when you look in the eyes of your child today, that you understand, as a parent, you're the first example of what it is to be a man in this world. When you're a mother, you're the first example of what it it is to be a woman in this world. And when you look at the string of people that you invite into your life, be it blood or by choice, you show your child the first example of what it's like to be surrounded by greatness, opportunity, and love. Reach one, teach one. Take the power from within you and share that with someone else that's looking for guidance and power. And share what you've learned. Thank you.